in agitating some minds in Pakistan, particularly those who are not overly fond of Pakistan's nuclear program. It has been asked, what is the good of having nuclear weapons if Pakistan has a failing economy, political turmoil, ethnic and religious divides, a huge debt burden, a population explosion, impending shortages of water, which could lead to water wars, pollution, and increasing aridity. Now, these are all problems which indeed do exist. But does that mean that if we give up our nuclear weapons, these problems will disappear? And I'm sure the answer clearly is no, they will not disappear. We have to address those problems, but that does not mean that we have to come under international pressure to contain our nuclear program, our nuclear weapons program, or to give it up. Another question that sometimes I think about is, since India is acquiring missile defense, Pakistan has two options. One is to acquire a missile defense of its own. And the second would be to have some kind of an ABM treaty with India, which at one stage the United States, a limited ABM treaty, which at one stage the United States and the Soviet Union had, which was announced by the United States under George Bush. But that can only happen when the two countries begin to talk to each other. And it would appear that these days Indians are not in a mood to hold a serious dialogue with Pakistan on any of the outstanding issues between the two countries. In response to international pressure, my view is that we should establish our red lines. And the essential feature of those red lines must be that Pakistan will not accept any pressure about its nuclear program. And we have to learn not to be on the defensive about the nuclear program. Pakistan did not commit violation of any international law in acquiring nuclear weapons. Pakistan acquired nuclear weapons under the circumstances which have been explained millions of times. Pakistan's safety record and security record of nuclear weapons is impeccable. And we are under no obligation to explain to anyone why we have acquired nuclear weapons. This debate about these so-called illegal means or underhand means used by Pakistan to acquire nuclear weapons must also come to an end. In the sense that there is no nuclear power in the world, including the United States, which has not borrowed or stolen either the intellectual or the physical requirements for a nuclear program. The American nuclear program was built by scientists of German origin. The Americans provided nuclear information to its friend Britain. The Russians, according to the Americans, stole nuclear secrets through the Rosenbergs and others. The Indians, we know, used illegally the plutonium that they derived from their CISS nuclear program to conduct their first nuclear test. The Israelis have developed a nuclear program with the help of frauds. China was perhaps the only country, and it must have used some information from outside sources to develop its nuclear program. So is there any country in the world which has had a totally independent nuclear program without any support or assistance, intellectual or otherwise, from the rest of the world? And since there is none, we should not feel that we are guilty of any wrongdoing in acquiring assistance, whether through means illegal or legal, from the world. I would like to conclude by thanking the CISS team, and particularly Ambassador Server Naqvi, for inviting me to attend this very interesting session. I have not commented on the book, but let me say that I have read the book, and that it will take some time for me to digest it totally. I thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of today's event. I request the reviewers and authors to come to the front of the hall and join the chief guest and CISS team for a group photo. The rest of our guests are invited to have tea and refreshments at the back of the hall. Thank you all very much for being here. Allah Hafiz.